Hare Krishna. Hello friends, how are you all doing? I hope you all are doing well. This is Ritendra, I am preacher of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and today is very special lecture. Today I am going to talk about the final verdict of Sukdev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit. Before Maharaj Parikshit passed away, the final verdict he would hear from Sukdev Goswami. So I am going to tell you about the final verdict. And in his final verdict, he stated about the distinction between the soul and super soul, soul and body, the relation between the soul and body, and about he told about the story of the snake bird Taksak. So here, actually, I would love to convey the real story about the snake bird Taksak and the relation between the soul and body and the soul and super soul. But before I start my lecture, I would like to introduce Srimad Bhagavatam. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, 12th canto, and written by A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Srila Mahaprabhupada from ISKCON temple. And I would have to say neither Srimad Bhagavad Gita nor Srimad Bhagavatam religious book and spiritual book, but in true sense, pure book of science and humanity. And I am trying to propagate a humanity on the basis of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and trying to morally motivate to those people who are actually frustrated and attempt to commit suicide on the basis of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So actually, this is the photo, this is the image of Kalki avatar, Kalki incarnation of Lord Krishna. This would be the Kalki incarnation of Lord Sri Hari Vishnu. So he was on the white horse, and on his hand there is a sword. At the end of the present age Kali Yuga, the Supreme Lord will advent himself in the form of Kalki in order to annihilate the degraded rulers of the rulers of the earth. Sukdev Goswami final instruction to Maharaj Parikshit. Sri Sukdev Goswami Uvacha. Here he stated, the Srimad Bhagavatam has elaborately described in the various narration of the Supreme Soul of the All, that we, the personality of the Godhead, Sri Hari, and from whose satisfaction Brahma is born, and from whose anger Rudra take a birth. Actually, here mention about the birth of Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma because of the anger of Lord Sri Hari Vishnu. Lord Sri Hari Vishnu, because of the anger, from the anger of Lord Sri Hari Vishnu, Lord Shiva took a birth, and from the satisfaction Lord Brahma, satisfaction of Lord Sri Hari Vishnu, Brahma took a birth. So here त्वा तु राजस्य मरिष्यते प्रसु बुद्धि ममिमः जहि न जातः प्राग भूतोः देह तत्वः न नक्ष्य शक्ष्यसि. O king, give up the animalistic mentality of the thinking. We all have to give up the animalistic mentality of the thinking. And I'm going to die. We all are going to die. We all are not going to die. Unlikely the body, you have not taken birth. Unlike the body, you haven't taken birth. Your body took a birth, and your body will be died. So you are not taking birth, but your body, only your physical appearance, only and only your physical body taking birth, and also die, and creation and destruction will only be happen with your physical body, not with your soul. And there was no time in the past when you didn't exist and you are not about to destroy. ऐसा कोई समय नहीं था जहाँ पे तुम नहीं थे पार्थ, और वहाँ पे मैं नहीं था. यहाँ पे महाराज परीक्षित को सुखदेव गोस्वामी कहते हैं, you will not take a birth again in the form of your son, grandson, like a sprout taking a birth from the seed, then generating a new seed. Rather, you are entirely distinct from the material body and also paraphernalia. In the same way, the fire is distinct from the fuel. Fire is very distinct from the fuel. Here, Sukdev Goswami actually try to explain Maharaj Parikshit. Actually, fire is totally, completely different from the fuel. And similarly, you will not take a birth from your as a grandson. Means you will not take a birth again as your grandson and as your son. So it will never happen. It's something like a sprout taking a birth from the seed, then generating a new seed. Sprout taking a birth from the seed and then generating a new seed. So this is the cycle of the birth and death, the cycle of the creation and destruction. So Lord Krishna clearly stated, so you are not going to take a birth in the form of your grandson and son. So if you are thinking your quality, listen it very carefully, your qualities are directly related with your parents, this will never happen. I'm not agree with this particular concept, your quality. But I do accept, I do believe, and I do agree with a particular atmosphere which actually providing a primary role or very important for the nurturing of the kids, and on the basis of the atmosphere providing from the family, because our kids are only imitating to all of us, and we believe our qualities actually acquired by our quality will be given to our children, but it will never happen, but our quality will be acquired by our children. So whatever education we are providing to our kids will definitely get acquired with a certain qualities. And you are entirely, here Sukhdev Goswami clearly stated, listen it very carefully, you are entirely distinct from the material body, entirely distinct from the material body, and it's a paraphernalia. In the same way, the fire is distinct from the fuel, fire is totally distinct from its fuel. Yes, Sukhdev Goswami stated, स्वप्नेन यथा शिरसेन्दः पश्चात् त्वदानत्मनः स्वयमः यस्मात् यशस्वी निहतस्य ततः आत्मा हमजोः मरः. Here, Sukhdev Goswami further stated, in the dream one can see his own head being cut off and thus understand that his actual self is standing apart from the dream experience. So this is actually dream visitation process. This is a parapsychological process. And similarly, while awake, one can see that his body is a product of five material elements. In a real life, our body is only product of five elements: Akash, Dharti, Vayu, and five elements are there. So we just have to understand, and therefore it is to be understood that the actual self, the soul, the distinct from the body, and it observe and is unborn and also immortal. Our soul is our soul is observed as a unborn and also immortal. Our soul is very immortal. When a pot is broken, the portion of the sky will the pot remains as the element sky, and just as before. In the same way, when the glass and subtle bodies die, the living entity within the resume is a spiritual entity. Living entity resume. He's a spiritual energy, a spiritual entity or identity. मन सुजाति वे देहान गुणान कर्माणि आचात आत्मानः तन्मन सुजते माया तत्व जीवस्य संसुति. तत्व जीवस्य संसुति. Listen it very carefully. This is actually most important term. तत्व जीवस्य संसुति. Your material bodies, the qualities and activities of the spiritual soul are created by the material mind. These all things will be created by material mind. The mind is itself created by illusionary potency of the Supreme Lord. Our mind. What is our mind? Our mind is only creation by the illusory potency of Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality Godhead, Lord Krishna, and the soul assume the material existence. The soul assume the material existence. So lamp function as only by the combinations of the fuel vessels and wick and fire. The lamp function, whenever you are enlightening something or enlightening lamp or firing up the lamp, at that time the lamp function as only by combination of its fuel, vessels, wick and fire. And similarly, material life based on the soul's identification. Similarly, material life based on the soul's identification, and with the body is developed and destroyed by the working of the material goodness, passion and ignorance, which are the constituent of the element of the body, which are the constitute of the element of the body. The soul within the body is self-luminous. The soul Atma within the body is self-luminous and is separate from the visible gross body. Is separate from the visible gross body and invisible subtle body. It remains as a fixed basis of the changing bodily existence, just as the eternal sky is the unchanging background of the material transformation. Therefore, the soul is endless and without material comparison. Sir. The soul is endless and without material existence or material comparison. So I will take this example of snake but taksak in my next video. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Jai Sri Radhe.